Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to One Nation Under God to this live. So Trump just pulled a MAGA ace card. The Democrats are fearful, and we're going to get into that and what is happening in Washington, D.C., in Congress, what is happening in the Senate. The rhinos, the fake Republicans, the traitors, the swamp, and the Democrats, and especially Kamala Harris are terrified because the last 3.5 years, what have they been doing? Well, they have been importing voters, real obedient, real good voters that are going to vote for them and them only. Well, Trump with Speaker Mike Johnson are about to fight it to the end to make sure only citizens are allowed to vote. Well, before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, I got to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's channel, this video, and the channel overall, and that is VERITY METALS. Ladies and gentlemen, inflation, Bidenomics, it's destroying your money. It's destroying your savings. Inflation is killing the dollar, and the number one way, the biblical, the godly, the constitutional way to protect your money is with tangible, physical, in your hands, gold and silver. And I have partnered with VERITY METALS to bring you the best deals, and you can get free gold and silver on qualifying orders when you tell them Vlad sent you. So go to veritymetals.com or call them at 480-717-9081. I know a lot of my subscribers have been getting gold and silver. I have been getting little by little. Don't be left behind. Be prepared. All the links are down below in the description. By the way, before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, I did it. I got out of Washington State for at least a little while. Arizona is the state where my vote will actually count. This is a swing state. I can actually make a difference. I'm eligible to vote. My wife is eligible to vote. That's at least 2 voters for Trump. We are already talking to neighbors. I got my Trump lawn signs out in the front. We're going to try to register some people. Even this house that we're renting, I spoke to my landlord. He's a immigrant from India who's a citizen. Just doesn't vote, never voted. I'm talking to him, and I'm trying to get him, his wife, registered to make sure they vote for Trump in this election. I believe I can make a big change in this state. And then, hey, we'll save some more states after this one, baby. Now, let's get into this. By the way, if you can see me, you can hear me, give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment letting me know you're here. Let's get right into it. Trump urges Congress not to pass continuing resolution without SAVE Act, even if it shuts the government down. So right now, Congress is working on a budget plan, right? They're working on getting money passed through Congress. They're working on, the next budget plan. And Trump was saying, no, don't pass it. He says, put the SAVE Act in, right? Push the SAVE Act into the bill. What is the SAVE Act? Well, the SAVE Act is pretty much enforcing a constitutional and federal law that says only citizens are allowed to vote in federal elections. And if you're not, if you're not a citizen and you vote, you're going to go to prison. You're going to go to federal prison. The Republicans actually passed this as a standalone bill about 2 months ago in the House. And then as soon as it got to the Senate, the senators killed it. Mitch McConnell even voted with the Democrats to kill this bill. Now, so Mitch McConnell worked with the Democrats in the Senate to just destroy it. Well, now they are in a different position. Now they need money, or none of them get paid. The government gets shut down. All of their illegal aliens, right? Their voter base that they imported illegally to illegally keep them in office are not going to be getting their benefits. And when they're not getting their benefits, they're not going to be happy. So right now they are working on a resolution to continue spending money. So Trump has come to the Republicans and Speaker Mike Johnson of the House and said, look, the only way we can do this and save our republic in this next election is if we get the SAVE Act passed. But the Democrats will never allow it. But how do Democrats so often get their way? They never bring to the table single issue bills. They always compile it with something. So let's say the Republicans want $5 billion for a wall. And the Democrats say, we'll give it to you, but guess what? We want $200 billion for Ukraine. That's the only way you'll get your lousy $5 billion is if we get $200 billion. And the Democrats have been playing this by these schemes really, really well forever. But not this time. This time, Trump is actually working with Speaker Mike Johnson to play their own games, to play by their own rules. And here's how it's going. President Donald Trump is calling on GOP lawmakers to prioritize the SAVE Act in upcoming budget negotiations. Speaking on Monica Crowley's podcast, Trump emphasized that he would rather see the government shut down than allow Congress to pass a continuing resolution without this critical legislation. In July, the House successfully passed the SAVE Act bill with a vote of 221 to 198, with nearly every Democrat opposing the measure. The SAVE Act aims to amend the National Voter Registration Act of 1993 to enforce stricter registration requirements. Under the proposed legislation, voters would need to provide documentary proof of United States citizenship to vote in federal elections, a shift from the current law which permits states to demand citizenship proof only for local and state elections. However, the legislation faced opposition when brought to the Senate floor. Despite Lee's efforts to push for an immediate passage, Senate Democrats objected the bill. Now, the Democrats destroyed the bill. They completely wiped it off the face of the earth, thinking it's gone and it's gone forever. Well, Trump played the ace card. They sat on it. They didn't even talk that this idea was in the back of their mind. Speaker Mike Johnson never mentioned it. Trump never mentioned it. Nobody mentioned it. They knew that a budget plan was right around the corner and right before the election. So they waited. And now the Democrats are saying, hey, we need money. We got Social Security to pay out to a lot of illegal immigrants. And this is where the Republicans finally, for the first time in maybe decades, are doing something right. Speaker Mike Johnson, and Trump even told him to do this. He said, give the Democrats whatever they ask for. It doesn't matter how much money they want. Fund everything, but stand your ground and say, I'll give you whatever you want, but I want the SAVE Act in it. You want the government to not be shut down? You want all this money? You want to pay out all this EBT and cash and free cell phones to your voter base, the illegals? Let's do it. But I want the SAVE Act in that bill together. If not, I am willing to shut the government down for as long as it takes. What Trump needs to do is pretty much hold Speaker Mike Johnson's hand through this process. And even if the government has to be shut down for 90 days, kind of like what happened when Trump was getting border wall money. Shut it down. I don't care. Shut down the government. Our people are more important than the government. We need to secure our border. If we don't have a border, we don't have a government. And Trump got his way, and we got the wall. We got almost all of it, but then 2020 happened. Now, the Democrats are going to try to fight. The Democrats are going to try to kick back, and then what they're going to do is they're going to say, "Oh, if the government does shut down, it's the Republicans' fault." And the Republicans finally have a good argument. They come out and say, "We didn't shut the government down. You did. We told you we'll give you everything you want. We don't want to shut down the government. We just want secure elections. So we don't have a repeat of 2016, how you guys said Russia put Trump in office. We just want to make sure Russia can't put anyone in office. Only American citizens are allowed to put people in office. And you guys don't want to fund the government, and you don't want to secure our elections." Trump and the Republicans finally have an amazing argument for shutting down the government and not being the guys at fault. So I say shut it down. I say stick it, even if it postpones the election. Let it happen. Don't give them what they want. Or give them what they want when we get what they want. If we don't get what we want, they don't get what they want. Now, ladies and gentlemen, where is this? There's a story I want to show you. So, Kash Patel. We all know who Kash Patel is. We're going to round it up with this. Kash Patel warns of potential blackout or attack on power infrastructure during this election cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, we all need to be prepared for whatever might happen. We need to be prayed up. We need to be strapped up. Right now, we need to be praying for September 18th. That is Trump's sentencing date. And the rumor is they are going to put Trump in jail, Rikers Island, have him arrested on the spot for a year. Alex Jones said that he has people that work at, Rikers Islands that have, blown the whistle and told him that there's already a section prepared for Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to pray. We need to fast if we got to fast, but we need to be consistent in prayers and speaking truth to power. When we speak truth in the midst of lies, we destroy the lies. When you see someone reacting negatively to you speaking facts and truth, no, there is something behind it, a spiritual force that stands behind lies, and they hate truth. This is why it's okay to do drag queen storybook hour at a public library. But if you say, well, I want to do a Bible hour for children at the public library, no one's going to approve your permits. I've tried it. I know firsthand. The very same library in Spokane, Washington, that approved last summer it was like drags reading books to kids an hour a week. The same library in the same county and state denied permits for Bible reading, for children an hour a week. Just know when you speak truth and you see that it's not the person you're irritating, it's the spirits, it's the powers behind them. Right? They are the children of lies. Jesus in Matthew, I believe 14, turns to the Pharisees and says, hey, you call yourselves children of Abraham, but no, you're not. You're the children of the fallen one, the liar, and that there's no truth in him and he lies. That's why you always lie, because you're his children and there's no truth in you. Same with this people, but the way we overcome is by speaking truth everywhere, all the time. Never give up, never give in. And I'm going to finish with this story. I just moved to Arizona, on the outskirts of Phoenix. You know, like a block from my house, someone's got all these Tim Walz and Kamala Harris lawn signs. Guess what I did? Huge Trump signs in front of my house so they can see him every time they walk out. They don't irritate me, but I'm sure this irritates them. Why? Because I know what I stand on, and I'm okay with you believing differently than I do. So, speak truth to power. Never give in, never give up, never surrender. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification on. Again, for free gold and silver, go to VERITY METALS on qualifying orders. Be prepared. Be ready. We never know what's going to happen. Make sure your money's in order, your food's in order, and you can go a couple weeks without electricity. Trump 2024 or sooner.